Broncos country, we are back with the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. And what is it? Huge depth chart battles, part 2. We're going to get to it, man. There's some big ones out there. I know you got them on your mind. We're going to get to all of them, starting right about now. Well, there you are, everybody. Welcome into the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. And it's the off season, and we've already done a huge depth chart battle part 1, but we couldn't leave it alone, man. We had to come back. We had to come back for part 2 of this depth chart battle. Got my good friend Jody Moncrief here. My name is Keith Brugman. It's been a hot and busy day, but I can't wait to talk some Denver Broncos football with all of you tonight. Jody, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing good. Just ready to dive in to more depth chart battles and see where that takes us.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about it last episode. This Denver Broncos team has been continuing to ratchet up their talent. It's getting tougher and tougher for what we think is good talent that was maybe taken in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round to now start, competing and getting those opportunities when it comes to, game day and getting out there. But, we're going to start off with one here, and you can all read it up above, that I think threw a lot of big questions into the mix when it came to the postseason and Bo Nix went down. By the way, I didn't even tell Jody this, but man, we are going to try to do this on.
Let's go. Onward.
Jody, we'll try to do this quick. It's going to be another quick episode, but we got to get to this quarterback 2 situation because last year, I was the one out there posting all the content saying, let's get Stiddy with it. Like putting everything behind Jarrett Stidham, really hoping he could pull us through the AFC Championship. But one of the highest paid backup quarterbacks in the league didn't really impress me all that much when it came to game time. I think it's now a big competition. I know that you brought this topic to the subject to the table, so I'm going to let you talk about it first, man.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty telling when Sean Payton was asked in the off-season if Stidham was their number 2, and he wouldn't commit to that. He said there will be a quarterback battle, which he has not done the last couple of years. It's been – Stiddy was really the first guy that he signed when he got here. He's been the number 2 quarterback. He talked him up pretty hard for that AFC title game. They made the switch to him when Russ was playing decent football. So I think it's pretty telling. I just think the way he played against the Pats, I think that put a sour taste in Peyton's mouth. With just decent quarterback play, you probably win that football game.
Forget about Sean Payton's mouth. Jody, I want to know about your mouth. Ernie Mays saying that Stiddy choked. How did you feel about Jarrett Stidham in that AFC Championship game? Because the one question I do have is, what do you really have in Sam Ehlinger as well? That's where I really, I don't know. It just, if we had I don't know, even Zach Wilson in there, I'd feel a little bit better. But Stiddy, how did you feel about his AFC Championship? Did he leave a sour taste in your mouth enough that Sam Ellinger gets that opportunity?
Yeah, other than he had two passes on that second drive of the game, I guess, where the long bomb to Mims and then the wide open touchdown to Sutton. I think you and I talked about it. One thing that I think both of us thought that he was going to do better than Nix was play from the pocket, step up in the pocket, that type of thing. And that didn't happen. He drifted all game long. He just looked very uncomfortable back there. I understand he hadn't played a snap in close to 3 years, but it just looked bad from what you and I talked about, how we thought that he was going to look in the pocket. And I'm not even. I'll quick mention it, but I don't put it on him. The turnover and all that that was on Tyler Bidet. He ran the wrong route. If he'd went under the defender and allowed Stidham to hit that little screen pass, it probably goes for a ginormous play because it was wide open back there. But he's got to know there too, and this is probably just lack of reps. Take a sack, eat it, do whatever right there, punt the ball away. But in that game, D- probably for me is what I would grade him.
Grades aside, I'll just say that, quite honestly, we can't walk away saying we are impressed with what Jarrett Stidham put on the field. You're absolutely right, man. I thought that Jarrett Stidham would be able to show us something that Bo Nix didn't necessarily have. You know what I mean? And that presence in the pocket, that ability to stay in the pocket, the way he was going to deliver. Bo Nix is fantastic with his legs, and sometimes he takes that for granted and he starts running before he needs to. And we thought Jarrett Stidham would, hold steady Stidham right there in the pocket and start delivering. It was just the opposite. It was disappointing. It was disappointing because we saw him get a huge contract that made him one of the highest paid backup quarterbacks in the league. I will say, I think the door is open. Obviously, the door is open. Sean Payton left the door wide open. Is Sam Ellinger the guy that can take over that position and run with it and challenge Jarrett Stidham? I think that's a big challenge. There's a guy that's been in the Denver Broncos offense for a while, and it's a guy that's been in the league for a while. So, as much as I want this to be a big competition, I just don't know, how much Sam Ellinger can bring to that competition. It'll be interesting to see, and hopefully I'll be able to see it firsthand. Want to say hello to just a few people. Ernie May is coming in here and saying, "Go Broncos country only." Think Broncos big, not 31 teams small. Hello, Keith and Jody. Also, Trevor and Kenny, who are, they're on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network as well. Paul Shatter coming in saying, Stiddy, crazy two-handed shovel pass was tipped. I'm just saying. Yeah, it was just tipped, and it was crazy just to see Jarrett Stidham in that panic type of mode when we saw that. And then our good friend Phil, Tucson Phil. Good evening, Keith and Judge. Time for a new backup quarterback, maybe from free agency. 100 stars. I'm sorry. I was like 0-0. I didn't see the 1. 100 stars. Thank you very much, Phil, man. Big time supporter. We don't have anybody producing in the background, so this certainly helps when you let us know that, man. Do you think that that's a possibility? Do you think that there's an opportunity for a free agent to sneak in here and, get an opportunity in training camp, maybe even beyond, and challenge Jarrett Stidham, Sam Ellinger, and be that guy?
I don't think so. They never really addressed it the last couple of years. It was Stidham. They went and signed him right away, and it's been Stidham. So I don't think so. I don't know if this is a smokescreen to light a fire under Stidham to make him not feel comfortable as the number 2, or what, or if it really if he was really upset at the way he played in that title game. But if I was going to guess, Stidham probably will be still your quarterback too. And something that a lot of people don't think about, Nix has said it multiple times that he likes Stidham there. They're tight on the sidelines. They're tight off the field. I mean, they both played at Auburn. They know they've been around each other for a while. And he likes that just presence in the quarterback room. So all those factors, I would say probably not, unless he just, chokes in training camp.
No more choking. No more choking, Jody. Oh, we don't need any of that. I'm not going to rule it out, though. I think there is an opportunity for someone to come in and maybe challenge for this position. It'll be interesting to see who hits the market once everything kind of starts shifting out, maybe later through training camp and into the beginning of the regular season. But, I don't know. It's a big challenge, man. He's getting paid really well. I understand he knows the system, but that was not what we wanted to see. Not what we wanted to see in the AFC Championship game. And I think Sean was kind of disappointed. There was a lot of time to get ready for that game. And what they end up putting out, what Jarrett Stidham ended up putting out there on the field, I don't think lived up to the expectations of what Sean Payton and Broncos country had. Now, I just have a hard time with Sam Ehlinger, really, really pushing for that. But the one thing I would also say, Zach Wilson was also very well loved in this quarterback room at one time as well. I think it's a great quarterback room, and I don't know if it really depends upon who is brought in. I mean, obviously, to a certain extent, we're not going to bring in, people with questionable morals or the like. I think it's a room that's tight and can continue to be tight. Got Michael Ronquillo coming in saying, "Good evening, Keith and Jody. Go Bo Broncos." He's got the blue. He's got the orange heart. He's got the mile high salute. We salute him. He's coming in with some Facebook stars from Michael. I appreciate you very much, Michael. Quarterback 2 is going to be interesting, Jody. It'll be interesting to see what that competition looks like. But we have more than one. If you all are reading across the top, if you're following along at home, we've got to get into the tight ends next, man. And look at this room. Jody, a lot of opportunity in this room, man. We're talking about tight end 2, tight end 3, heck, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There is a lot of guys on the screen right now. If you're following along at home, I don't even know where you want to start, man. Evan Ingram is the assumed tight end 1, but after that, man, I think there's a lot of question marks as we've brought some talent in after multiple drafts, and some people are starting to show out and impress even Sean Payton.
You don't have him on here, and I think he's going to make the roster. I think he's going to have, a comeback type. I mean, it's hard to say comeback when you have 50 receptions. And, I mean, if you put his numbers up there, he's probably put the best numbers up since Julius Thomas.
You're talking about Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram. But I do want to mention, I've heard some outlets say that they think that's the surprise cut Denver makes before the training camp. So I don't feel that way. I don't know how you feel about that. And then, after that,
and that's what this slide was all about. After that, right? Evan Ingram is the assumed tight end 1, I think, from everyone's perspective.
I just wanted to throw that out there because I've heard some outlets put that out there. I think that's a little bit crazy, but maybe not with what's on this picture. If you're going to try to pick 3 or 4 guys here,
it's a lot.
I would say Adam Troutman is probably pretty safe just because you just re-signed him to a 3-year deal. He's a Sean Payton guy. You traded for him to get him from New Orleans. He's the blocking tight end Sean Payton's in love with.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think it's all up in the air. I would say probably Justin Jolly and Dallin Bentley probably are the next 2 in line that have the inside track. But word so far is Caleb Lohner's looks like a whole different tight end. Sean Payton has said that. So, and then Nate Atkins to me is the wild card as well. They love what he does versatility wise. He can play fullback. So when I first put a 53 together, I think I had 5 tight ends. I had Evan Ingram, Justin Jolly, Dallin Bentley, Nate Atkins, and I did put Caleb Lohner on the 53. And then another wild card. I don't know what you do with him. We talked wide receivers last week. Little Jordan Humphreys. What? He's another Sean Payton guy. I mean, when you had wide receivers go down and the Giants decided to let him go, that was the first guy Denver went and got, and they snatched him pretty quick. I mean, he was getting important plays called his way in the Buffalo game. Should have had 2 touchdowns, dropped a touchdown on the first drive right in his hands. But they came right back to him. He got another one. So he's a wild card for me too. Does he put on a little weight and play tight end because he's blocking? And it sounds like Denver might go more up tempo, K-gun or whatever you want to call it. Or does he play wide receiver? So I don't know. This, to me, this is one of the positions too there's some single battles, 1-2 guys, but the amount of guys in this that you have on this page I could see any one of these guys making it or not making it, really.
It was tough making this graphic, Jody. I was trying to figure out how I got all the heads and the numbers and try to figure out how you go from Dallin Bentley to Lucas Kroll to Nate Atkins to Jolly to Humphrey to Troutman to Caleb Lohner. So I mean, it's a tight room, and it's the reason that even though you're putting little Jordan Humphrey in here, how long has he been in the league? You're asking him to change positions. He's going into this mess of a room in order to try to compete. I mean, if I was little Jordan Humphrey, I wouldn't be signing up for that necessarily. Hey, I get to change position and compete with 7 other guys. Fantastic. That sounds like a fantastic idea. I don't know where little Jordan Humphrey ends up, whether it be wide receiver, whether it be tight end, whether it be on the Denver Broncos roster. Phil McLaughlin's coming in. Would love to see Caleb Lohner develop. This is the question that I'm going to ask you, and feel free to jump in as well. Jody, are we done with Lucas Kroll? Because a lot of people are like, man, Caleb Lohner, we heard Sean Payton, Caleb Lohner looking good. Is Lucas, and maybe it's because you also answered our poll as far as the future of tight end. I noticed that as well. But is Lucas Kroll just an afterthought at this point? Are we already done with Lucas Kroll?
For me, I am, just based off of last year. There was such little production there, and there were multiple games he didn't even dress. So for me, of everyone on this roster, he's probably the easiest one to cross out. And probably on this, the easiest one to circle is Troutman, just because they re-signed him. So that leaves 3, 6, 7. That leaves 5 tight ends for 3 spots, I guess.
Ooh.
And so I don't know what you do. I think this is the most interesting one. Probably even say Nate Atkins might have a leg up just because he can play that fullback, and Sean Payton likes to have a fullback on this roster.
Yeah. I was wanting to go fullback in this draft and maybe get a true fullback. Nate Atkins fills that role. He might have an opportunity as well, but it does get tough. Cecil Lammey, I guess you have to be a little bit upset, man. It sounds like Lucas Kroll might be on the short term, according to the judge. And I'm going to agree with you, man. You start adding guys like Justin Jolly, Dallin Bentley in this draft. You already have, like you said, Troutman, who's almost a lock on this roster, and Nate Atkins that brings something a little bit different. Heaven forbid you bring little Jordan Humphrey into the mix and have him compete, because Caleb Lohner is Sean Payton's favorite guy as they're coming back in from last season. A huge competition when it comes to tight end 2, 3, 4, you name it, man. Paul's coming in. He thinks it's Troutman, Loner, and a rookie. Not sure which one. A tight end, 4 tight ends on the 53. He's wanting to know, man. It sounds like you're up for 4 tight ends on the 53. Is that true, Jody?
No, I think I actually had 5.
Exactly.
5, and then little Jordan Humphries was a wild card for me. I don't know what Denver does with him. Sean Payton's in love with him, and we can hate his production on the field, but I mean, the guy does seem to make plays. He's not a WR1 or 2 or 3, but he does seem to make plays when it matters. I mean, he made big plays in the Packers game, obviously made big plays in the Buffalo game. So he's the one wild card I don't have an answer for what they do with him. I mean, they did cut him last year, so I mean that could be a tell, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, when you have the opportunity to get him back as well, that says a lot. So, might be. I mean, go out there, compete, little Jordan. Make it so that you can't get cut. Doesn't matter how you get here, just about what you do once you do hit the field for the Denver Broncos. Michael Ronquillo comes in with a comment. You talked about a little bit to start off this segment. We'll close it out this way as well. He says, this is going to be a big year for tight end Evan Ingram. How big of a year do you think Evan Ingram's going to have, Jody? Because you've been on this train as well. You kind of been lockstep with Michael Ronquillo in this mindset.
I'll give 2 answers. If Denver goes kind of this more hurry up, I don't know so much hurry up, but they're going to throw the ball more and they're going to do more 3, 4, 5 wide receivers and that type of thing. And then I could see 700, 750 and 6, 7 touchdowns easily. I think you're going to see a lot of what Denver did the second half of Bo Nix's rookie year. They're going to be throwing it down the field more. And they didn't have a tight end that year to really utilize to do this, and now they do. When you can throw 4 wide receivers out there and Evan Ingram, good luck trying to cover that.
Well, Jody, tight end, it's going to be interesting. I think Evan Ingram does have that opportunity. I agree with Michael. I agree with you to light it up this year because I think it will be spread out. I think we have the wide receivers adding Jalen Waddle into the mix as well. Just going to, again, take attention away from some of our weapons and give more opportunities for Bo Nix to deliver to them. Jody, do need to talk about our fantastic sponsor, and our fantastic sponsor, as you know, is Morgan Trinkets. Morgan Trinkets has been your headquarters for Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices for over 35 years. They once were a nationwide company. Now they just hang out in your backyard doing shows, Northern Colorado, Southern Wyoming. Last I heard, they were January 25th. They're out at the Longmont Fairgrounds at the Red Feather Lakes something show. I forget. Out at the Longmont Fairgrounds. They actually did a couple of back-to-back weekends out there, but I haven't got an update on their next one. I'll tell you this, man. If there is anything going on, horse show, gem show, anything going on in your local area and you're in Northern Colorado, take a peek around the corner. You might see Morgan Trinkets. I'll get those dates and all that information for our next podcast from Miss Pearl. But in the meantime, just know it is your place to get Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, State Gold at wholesale prices, and some silver as well. Graham wants to know, though, why did we sign Troutman to a lucrative deal? He's just shaking his head over that one. I was also kind of shaking my head, especially then if we go back to back and pick up 2 different tight ends in this draft. Jody, were you shaking your head? Are you okay with this? Is this just a Sean Payton guy that we're going to have to live with?
I wouldn't really, I guess I wouldn't say shaking my head, but I didn't really personally understand it, but I understood it as because he's a Sean Payton guy. I mean, the first draft that Sean Payton did, they traded draft picks to go get him from New Orleans, and he's been here the whole time. He's a Sean Payton guy, so Sean Payton, drafted him in New Orleans, so he's the definition of a Sean Payton guy. So
yeah, I agree, man. Sean loves his guys. He takes care of them, as Paul's kind of taken care of. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense sometimes, but Sean's showing some loyalty to a veteran there. Michael Ronquillo says he has 4 tight ends. He has Caleb Lohner. He has Adam Troutman. He has Evan Ingram. He has Dallin Bentley. That's obviously behind Evan Ingram, would be my guess in that room. Justin Jolly has time to grow. Boy, I wouldn't want to necessarily expose him, though, either to something like the practice squad. It's going to be an interesting way to go about it. I might, with you, Jody, this might be a 5 tight end type of 53-man roster, which just seems insane to me. But might make sense at the same time. Hey, guys, this is Clayton. Smash that like and share. I don't say it enough. Please, if you have an opportunity, takes nothing. Go ahead and hit that emoji, hit that like, hit that share. And we'd like to have all your friends in here, man. Talking Denver Broncos football. Make sure that you're sharing it, not only out there on our platforms, but also, hey, talk to your friends about us when you're talking some Broncos football. We'd love it very much, very much. Jody, you want to put it in 2 more cents on this one, my friend?
Yeah, I was just going to piggyback off of what you said. I think some of these decisions are going to be, like Justin Jolly. If you don't keep him on the 53, can you sneak him to the practice squad?
Yeah.
I mean, he was a 4th round pick. Do you want to expose that? I don't think you do. So can you sneak a Caleb Lohner? Can you sneak a whoever? Can you sneak some of these guys to the practice squad? Dallin Bentley, maybe, to start the season off, and then you can bring them up, move them down, do what you have to do. And then the other wild card is, what is Evan Ingram a surprise cut? I don't think he will be. I expect a big season from Evan Ingram, but I've just seen it out there. Those would be the 2 things just to watch for.
Yeah. Wow. Could you imagine Evan Ingram being cut in this? It is a possibility. We got a loaded room. They'll have to figure out something. And like you said, exposing some of these guys to the practice squad and the ability to get gobbled up by another team, maybe something that we really have to be wary about. And boy, it's going to be fun as we go through this. Clayton might see the sweat dripping off me here in Montana. He says, man, oh man, heat wave here in Wisconsin, 90s the last 3 days, man. It hit like 86 today, man, and AC was not all set up, man. So that's why I'm hot, and we're hot on some topics here. Michael Ronquillo says, Jolly is only 21 years old. The Broncos' other tight ends are 25 to 30 years old. A lot of youth on this team, man. A lot of inexperience and youth. And Rodney's right there with you, man. He's hearing that there's a possibility that we see Evan Ingram get moved on from a potential cut candidate as we move forward. Jody, we need to keep on moving, man. We talked about this being a hurry-up episode, so we'll hurry up onto a slide that doesn't take up near as much room as the last one. Oh, I did the same one? What am I doing there? I thought I had that. Why does that say? What is going on here? We'll remove that. There we go. Oh, whew. What is going on? Sorry, man. That was a new one for me. We'll go ahead and go with safety, man. I'll let you talk about this, man. Obviously, we have Talanoa Hufanga that we all love. We all love, man. I think there's, of all the recent free agent signings that we've had, just a guy that came in and he did what he needed to do. But when it comes to guys next to him, there are some questions, man. And we're going to get into it right now. Jody, talk about it. Safety.
Yeah, I think replacing PJ Locke is an under the radar, big time decision they have to make. After PJ Locke had the back surgery, I thought he played pretty well last year. I mean, he came in after Brandon Jones tore the pec, made that incredible interception in the Buffalo game in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You got Devon Keys. He was an All-Pro special teams guy. He was getting more time on the field as the season went, and dime packages. So I think that's where Denver would like to go. And then you've got JL Skinner, who's been a core special teams guy. He's been on the field. He hadn't really made any spectacular plays, but really hadn't embarrassed himself out there. And then you drafted Scott, who was a ball hawk. Miles Scott, who was a ball hawk out of Illinois, team captain there. So I think you might see all three make the roster, but who wins that number 3? I think they would like to see Devon Keys fall into that role. But this is an interesting one for me. I don't really have I would say Devon Keys, just some of the stuff that he was doing towards the end of the season. I liked what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. I like what Devon Key was doing as well. I don't know why I didn't mention Brandon Jones, but obviously Brandon Jones playing next to Hufanga has been the two that we want to see on the field and have solidified that back end. But whether it be relief, whether it be contracts coming up in the future, whether it be just needing a solid number 3, these are the guys that we're looking at. Devon Key is probably the favorite, but I'm kind of there with Rodney saying he's hoping that JL Skinner is the next Cam Chancellor. I know there was a lot of hype around JL Skinner, when he first came into the league, and I think he's getting that opportunity. Now, Miles Scott, I love his downhill. I love the way he hits. I mean, he's probably the most aggressive of these 3 when it comes to tackling and just ball hawking. But I mean, there's great opportunity at that 3 spot, and I don't know. I'd like to see JL Skinner kind of step up and force the issue a little bit. I know Devon Key is going to be the favorite, but I had a lot of love for JL Skinner when he came into the league, when he came to the Denver Broncos, and there's a reason he's still on this roster. I think they have some belief in him as well. Another fantastic battle, huge battle when it comes to the Denver Broncos in the offseason.
Are you surprised Denver didn't make more of a push to keep PJ Locke? Just because of, he didn't get a big deal in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that he's probably going to battle for a starting position there, and that's one of the reasons he left. But if he could have waited, say, one more year, like we've talked, if Nix gets paid big, can you afford to re-sign Brandon Jones? Or do you have to move on and start finding guys on some cheaper deals that you can play back there?
Yeah, I think you might have hit the nail on the head, Jody. I think that this might have really come down to his ability to start and maybe start this year. He put up a great season last year. He put out his best tape. If he was going to get the opportunity from another team or this team, it was going to have to be this year. And I don't think he wanted to wait. Yet on top of that, I just look at what the Denver Broncos did. They brought back just about everybody on this roster. So why not PJ Locke? Maybe it was more of a PJ Locke request than it was a Denver Broncos request that we part ways. And I could definitely see that just based upon what I just got done saying there, man.
And I think Christian Parker being in Dallas was a huge influence. He'd been in Denver. He knew him, so he knows what Christian Parker's about. So that might have been another reason to jump ship.
Phil McLaughlin is almost jumping topics, man. It'll be interesting to see safety. Another huge battle when we get into this training camp and this off season. But we have one last one left. You can all see it right there. Phil McLaughlin. He says, before we get over there, he says maybe they move Murdoch back. He's a killer. And that brings me right over to that middle linebacker position, man. One that we need to talk about, whether it be Jonah Ellis or Red Murdoch. Linebacker 3 might be up for grabs. And I'd like to get your thoughts on it, man. It sounds like Phil, he'd like to just move him back to safety and just make him that guy.
Yeah, this is the one that I'm the most, I guess, worried about. I mean, Red Bob, for obvious reasons, neither one has played middle linebacker in the NFL. I think Jonah Ellis can do it. I just I don't know. It's a wild card for me. Because he was your number 3 outside linebacker.
Yep.
At least as of last year, I mean, I think he would have been in a hell of a battle with Q Robinson for that number 3, the way Robinson played down the stretch. And I think they want to get him on the field, and this is one of the ways to get both of them on the field more. And then Murdoch, he was a tackling machine in college. I think he had over 120 tackles the last 2 years. So this is the most interesting one for me, just because they have no experience behind your 2 starters, really. And this is one that I could see has some cuts come down and some different things that you pick somebody up.
This is where you're looking for the undrafted or for the free agent. I got you.
Yeah, because if Jonah Ellis, let's just say he struggles there and it's not a fit for him and he is bad there, then what do you do? I know you got Drew Sanders, and they said they're moving him back to outside again, and that could force them to move Drew Sanders back inside. But you can't count on a guy that hadn't played football in 3 years, basically. I think this whole picture is predicated on what Jonah Ellis does. If Jonah Ellis moves inside like Baron Browning did for that one season and played really well and can handle it, then I think you're fine there. If he can't, then I don't know what you do, especially, knock on wood, I hope this doesn't happen, but you get an injury to one of your starters and he's struggling. What do you do there? That's now where guys that we didn't think could be traded, Marvin Mims or somebody, okay, I need a middle linebacker. Let's
making the move.
So Jonah Ellis might be everything that could hold this defense together. Just because if he struggles there, I mean, you're in a lot of trouble.
That's fair, man. It's one place I didn't necessarily put that emphasis on, but you're absolutely right. You have Jonah Ellis that you're moving around. You have Red Murdoch that's brand new to the team. You could end up flip-flopping Drew Sanders once again in order to try to get him into that position, but none of it necessarily speaks of confidence heading right into the season. Now, granted, there's a couple guys in front. We're talking about middle linebacker, number 3 here. But like you said, man, can change on a dime, man. And if it changes on a dime, we could be left scrambling, and who knows what that ends up looking like down going down that path. I'd rather not even go down that path. Knock on some of that wood, like you were saying. Paul's saying, I think Sanders or Skinner will get a lot of PT this year, practice time this year. So
playing
time, practice time, playing time. I like it.
And I left Sanders off because after what's he basically missed 2 and almost 3 seasons. Now they're going to move him back outside again. I don't even understand. I mean, why are you dressing it? Why is he practicing last year at the end of the season inside, and then you're going to move him right back outside? I don't understand what they're doing with him unless this is just talk. He may float around at both and find out where he fits. He's a wild card. He's nearly not even a wild card because he's got to show a lot in my opinion, to make this 53.
Mhm.
So you can't count on Drew Sanders being an option at inside linebacker right now, at least.
Well, and it feels like that's exactly what we're talking about with all these guys. I mean, I'd love to feel super confident in Jonah Ellis, but I don't. I mean, there's no reason to feel super confident in Red Murdoch at this point, and I don't. Uh, Michael Ronquillos, he's big on undrafted free agent linebacker Tareen York. I'll have to take a better look at him, but once again, not super confident. So
I
it's
actually
funny,
like
you
him a
brought-
lot. He's from Texas A&M as well. The
Mhm.
only thing with him is he's got short arms and he's a little bit smaller linebacker. He always reminded me of the line. He played linebacker for Denver. He's a coach there now. I can't think. Probably like 17,
boy.
18, 19. He was a special teams guy for a while and then started for a while. His name is, I'm drawing a blank. I'll think of it.
Okay.
He was
You're
on
not gonna get me with that one.
DNVR. He was on DNVR for a while.
Still not going to help
Dang,
me.
I'll think of it. But that's what
worries.
he reminds me of. He was just a little smaller linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I mean, what's Denver got, like 10-year streak of an undrafted guy making the 53? So maybe
There's
he's the next
that.
one.
There is that, man. All right, brother. It's going to be an interesting offseason, man. We've went through a lot of different position groups. You know, tonight, obviously hitting the quarterback too. I think.
Can I
that's
ask you a
big one.
question on the middle
Yeah, man.
linebacker?
Yeah, go ahead,
If
man.
you, as today, I mean, we really haven't seen him on the field. Do you think Jonah Ellis can translate to middle linebacker and it's serviceable where it's not a problem, or you think he'll struggle there for a while? And someone just said Todd Davis. He reminds me of Todd Davis, just a
Todd Davis,
smaller linebacker, but was a thumper, and that's who he reminds me of.
Todd Davis. Yeah. Almost forgot about him. In regards to Jonah Ellis, I do have questions, man. I mean, if he was going to be that guy, I would have liked to seen him be that guy, regardless if it's injury, regardless. I mean, there's been spurts. There's been times I've been, all excited about Jonah Ellis, but, as far as put him there, don't worry, not have a whole lot of concern. I don't think I'm going to necessarily describe myself in that regard. You know what I mean? I think there is reason that we could go out there, like you said, if cuts come down and the right linebacker, is available for the Denver Broncos, that might be the one option that they take, when it comes to this offseason and some of these free agents that might come about.
Do you think that he's 100% inside all year, or he bounces back and forth?
He could be all over the place, man, including practice squad, including, on a different roster, quite honestly. I don't have any confidence there, man. I would like to say that I do, but what gives me that reason to have that confidence? There's going to be competition there, he hasn't played this position, at least as of last year. So now he's out of position once again. He's got experience, and that's the only thing he has. He has experience with this team, but it'll be a big question mark when it comes to Jonah Ellis, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think this was a move kind of forced by Q Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way he kind of played the last couple of games of the season and in the playoffs, especially the Patriots game, I think Denver said, we got to get this guy on the field. But Jonah Ellis also makes plays, and you don't want him just standing on the sideline. So this was the next best move to figure out how to get him on the field. So
agreed, man. Agreed. I hope he succeeds, man. I hope all the Denver Broncos succeed. I know one thing. We succeeded in having another fantastic episode with a lot of fantastic commenters. We had Michael Ronquillo coming in here dropping some stars as well. We had a lot of great questions. and a lot of great insight, including Paul making sure that we understand exactly who we're trying to talk about, like Todd Davis. Appreciate it, Paul. To everybody out there on Facebook and YouTube, appreciate you jumping in here, being a part of the episode, and dropping your comments. Like Glenn Ashley coming in at the last moment saying, Jody, good afternoon, Jody and Keith. I'm sorry, real quick. And Juicer's late to the party. Good to see you, Glenn. Glenn's part of the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Check him out on some of our other podcasts as well. Jody, get some final thoughts in before we get out of here, man.
Just ready for OTAs to start next week. Be telling to see what guys kind of get the first reps as backups. That's what I'd like to see. And then how soon does Bo Nix throw and put all this ankle talk to bed? Those are what I'm looking for. All the Colorado teams are done now, so this is the Rockies are garbage this year. They're probably going to lose 100 games or more again this year. So, I mean, I'm
go Broncos.
Focused all on football right now. So
it's all on football, man. Avalanche early exit, Nuggets early exit, Broncos not the exit we wanted, but we're coming back, man. And I don't even know what to say about the Rockies, man. I go back to the Blake Street Bomber days, man, when it was truly about, and I used to love my Colorado Rockies. Bring them back, everybody. But hey, we'll be back for another episode. We go live every Wednesday, every Saturday with the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. Don't forget, you got the Juice that goes live on Tuesday as well. All those are supposed to be at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Sometimes we run a little bit late, but we appreciate everyone coming in here and being a part of it, like Phil McLaughlin getting us taken care of on the way out, saying great show tonight, guys. 100 stars. Thank you very much, Phil. Tucson Phil, rocking it as we get on out of here. We appreciate you so very much. And Glenn coming in here, he's saying more than liking and subscribing and sharing, invite your friends to join us all in our podcast. Subscribe on YouTube, even if you're watching in here. We appreciate you all, man. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. We get out of here one way and one way only here over on the Denver Bronco Roundup. You know it. Say it along with me, everybody, because sometimes I mess up. Keep your boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and of course, the Denver Broncos in your heart. Until next episode, we're going to get out of here. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much.